Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to press a 3D shirt with your small heat press. My heat press is a 16 by 16. It's a Stahl's Hoptronics. And what you see me doing is I'm using some craft paper that's sold in the paint section at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. It comes in a big roll, and it's mostly used for putting down on the floors and stuff like that when painting and doing other projects in the house that could protect your floor. Some people use what is called a Teflon sheet, and I have a Teflon sheet. I bought my Teflon sheets from N8 Academy. At the time, it was N8 Labs with Miss Shannon. And the Teflon sheets still a little pricey and stuff, but they're worth it because you can reuse them over and over. But I'm showing the craft paper for the purpose of this video because you may be a beginner and just starting out and don't know, can't afford to go out and buy something that expensive, and you want to see your return. So what you see me do with the craft paper is I'm tracing out the shirt, the sizing of the shirt, so that you guys can see the whole process, okay? So, which I traced out the shirt, and I'm going to insert this inside the shirt, and I found this to be a really good, and you're going to use the craft paper so that when you press the shirt, and it, sublimation has what is called ghosting, and when that high heat hits the shirt, it will, I'm turning on my heat press, I'm sorry. It will go through if you don't have anything to separate the shirts in between the shirts. It will ghost. And you will, and when I say ghost, meaning when you press it and if it's not protected, you'll find that the image will come through on the back side of the shirt. So depending on whose sublimation paper you're using and the type of product, their recommendations, I would suggest that you go by your seller's recommendation. But for this video, and I've always used craft paper, butcher paper, whatever it is that I have, and placed it in between just for protection and for me to not have to go back and redo a shirt. So I'm cutting this out, and then I'm going to use a board. I think it's an Elko board. I always get it mixed up between Elko board and Ram board, and I am so sorry, but I do. And so I put this in between my shirts. Your shirts, the higher the polyester count, the better it is, okay? So you see this is pretty much the sizing of the shirts, okay? All right. The board that I'm using, that I'm gonna place on my heat press to keep my shirt secure, this is what I was saying, an Elko board or a Ram board, okay? This Ram board is gonna keep my shirt in place on the heat press, and then I'll be able to put some butcher paper on top of it and spin it around as I need it to do this large shirt on my heat press. Okay, hang on, I'm getting some larger parchment paper, well, butcher paper, or whatever you want to call it. I'm getting that to put on my up under my shirt so that when I press it, it won't have ink that transfers from the shirt, the overlapping of my print. It won't transfer to the bottom of the Elko board, and is to go on the back of the board. I apologize. You heard me cutting the paper. So I'll lay my shirt on top of this. On my, I'm going to lay this on top of this, on top of my board. And then I'll place my shirt on top of this on the heat press, okay? All right, and I'm going to bring you guys over to the heat press in a little bit. As soon as I get this piece inside of this shirt, okay? The shirt that I'm using is an A4, okay? A4 shirt. I get my shirts from S&S Activewear. I get them from Aviva. As long as it's a 100% poly cotton shirt, you're fine, okay? Some people use J21, which is jersey. I think it's a jersey. It has like a t-shirt feel. And then you got some people, I love Team 365. I really don't like to use them for the 3D shirts. I find that this shirt and some other creators find that the J21 shirts work better for them when sublimating. But you see me putting and fighting with this to go in. I'm going to pre-press it, and then I get less wrinkles on the shirt and folding than I do the Team 365. Now, I love to use my Team 365 when I'm just doing like a center of the image, but when I'm covering the whole entire shirt, I try to use this shirt here, or I try to use a J21 t-shirt. It has a cotton feel, but it's a 100% polyester, okay? I'm going to get my craft iron because it's like I'm finding that when I use my craft iron up in these armpits and stuff, even after I do my pre-press, I get less crinkles. But sometimes you'll get crinkles up in the armpit, which if somebody really looking up under that armpit, come on now. But other than that, I haven't had a complaint. I haven't had any shirts to come back to me because of that. And I do put a disclaimer on my website, okay? So let me get my small craft iron and plug it in. If I can find it, I think I see it here. And I'm going to iron right up under those armpits. Just a little bit. And I find that this works better for me. You have to do what works for you. You'll find different creators do different things in different ways. And what I found is I would piggyback off of different, you know, what I see. And then I would go from there and do what I need to do, okay? So, again, I'm going to pre-press this shirt. And then I'm going to pre-press it. And then I'll come back and do that while that heats up, okay? I'm going to bring you guys closer. I'm sorry. I'm going to be moving you guys around a lot. Maybe my camera might let me zoom in or something. Hold on. This is my first YouTube video, so I'll press that in a minute. I'm going to bring it back and I'll press it on the heat press. My heat press hasn't gotten hot enough for me to press the whole shirt yet, but I'm gonna work on these armpits. I'm just gonna work on because I want to turn this little craft iron on. I don't want it to stay on long. And then I'm gonna show you how I piece my design together. I have an Epson SCF 570 that I get from Swing Design, and you have so many other vendors that sell it. You got Johnson & Johnson, Placid, and so on and so forth. But I'm just ironing here up under these armpits because most of the time this is where I get the most trouble at. Okay. If you see noise in the background, forgive me. Oh, my thing has a little thing on it and it's snagging my shirt. So I'm not going to use this shirt because I don't want to give someone anything. But it snagged my iron. My craft iron has, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it snagged my shirt. That's why I always like to have extra shirts on standby. So guess what? I'm going to have to do without that today because I don't want it to give me issues with my other shirts. Okay? I don't give people anything. I like to give them the best quality of what I got. Because you want to keep them coming back, okay? So don't give people sloppy work. Because it's easy for them to spread a bad name and mess your business reputation up. I try to give them my best quality. I try to give them what I'm looking for when I'm going to other creators and these big retail stores and stuff like that, because this is my brand and my brand speaks for me. So I want to give them the best of me and what I got. And I get it. You're not going to be able to please everyone. But as long as I know I'm giving it my best, that's all that matters. Okay? So, again, I apologize for the noise. I apologize if the volume is low. I'm just trying to get this video done before the house get noisy and everybody comes home, because I have a noisy house for this summer because I got my grandchildren and visiting for the summer, and then my husband, he normally comes in here and he blares the TV. So I said, let's take advantage while I have an opportunity. So I'm not going to place the craft iron on there because it has a little nick in it on the side, and that's what's snagging my shirt. So, okay. So let me put that there. Now I'm going to piece my design together. Show you how I piece my design together. My printer is a 24-inch sublimation printer. I've done plenty of shirts when I didn't have this. I've done it on a 7720 and 7210. But it just got to the point that I was trying to do too many on those small printers, and I just really messed them up. So what you see is seeing me trim along my image, and I want to come as close as possible, no white lines whatsoever. And I like to glide my iron because my scissors, because if you just chop, it will come out choppy sometimes on the shirt. Hold on. Is bad. Let me turn this thing around so I can see, because when I be cutting these, and with this image being so light, I don't be wanting a white line. But even though it's going to be a piece that kind of overlap, because in the software I have with my Epson, it has an overlapping feature that helps. Now, if you don't have the Epson ST570, go over to Shakia. She has a video on her page, and if I can find it, like I said, this is my first time doing a YouTube video recording. So if I could figure out how to link the video where she designed hers and silhouette, and I don't think she designed it, I can't remember, but she did a design in silhouette and she split it up and printed it from her Silhouette software with the smaller heat press. I'll link it in the video to make it easy for those of you that don't have the large. Now what you see me doing is I'm trying to trim as much of this white as I can. And I really don't have to do this because it's an overlap piece that's going to get. So let me try my overlap real quick and let's see. So I don't be wasting a lot of time because I don't want to make the video too long and then people don't want to watch it. Okay? So this is the other side. I'm going to save this paper, as much as this paper as I can, because I can put it back in my printer and use it for a smaller image, okay? All right, so on this image here with the software, how I know this is the overlap, it prints print in the margin to let me know where it's going to overlap, okay? So I'm going to place this, and then if I see here, it lets me know where my overlap meet. So I really didn't have to do all the extra that I was doing because my overlap is going to cover me for my words, okay? But I really do. I need to because this is the piece that's going to be on the top. So let me do some more trimming, okay? I wish I could bring you guys in to see. Don't have the best equipment, but taping equipment, but if I get more views and stuff, I'll get better because like I say, I'm learning. People don't want to teach you on how to record content. You know, I've asked so many people and they just don't want to teach you, so it's okay. So I'm going and trim the extra white that I see. On this image. Not much, just little pieces of white image, okay? Because if you don't get all that white out, you're going to have a big white line going across your shirt. And that's what kind of discouraged me for a long time. After I had did my first couple of shirts, I got so depressed. And I had to refund money and stuff. So just make sure you do your tests. I hear creators say test, test, test. And I'm one of these kind of girls. I just go in there and do it and dive into it and make it happen. But I'm learning the importance of testing, and especially in my downtime. And not giving up and just keep pushing. Because that's the only way you're going to perfect it. Mess up. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep going forward. You'll get it eventually. Okay? So, I don't want to do too much talking, but I don't want y'all to get bored either. You're watching my video. So, I'm trimming the extra white. Going over. Okay, I think I got most of it. All right, I have to take my glasses off so I can see better. All right, so I'm gonna overlap this and put it here. I don't want my overlap to print on my print when I to be on my press. So all right, line that up. Let me get my heat tape. So I always gauge, I always print my images out in a square too, because not a lot of those t-shirt templates you see, they're not all created equally. Most of them are made for the J21 t-shirts. So I just print my images out in a square to keep it from being cut off on the like the sleeve right here of my shirt. Most of the time I'll have a little bit that won't press on there or something like that, and I don't like that. So it just was giving me all kind of crazy issues. So I'm applying a little bit of tape up under here, all right, so that, so I can line these images up. Alright, so I'm taping this up so that this doesn't move. Okay, I put the tape on there too because it tends sometimes when I be taping to shift a little bit. So I'm going to just add me some tape up on here. I'm taping this side, getting some tape on here. Tape on down here. Trying to keep this video up under 30 minutes. Because if your attention span anything like mine's, try sometime I lose. My attention be gone after 15 to 20 minutes depending on how the content is. But then, or how bad I want it or what's going on. This gotta come off. I don't want no white knives. Okay. This shifted a little bit on me. So I want this. I don't want the letters in her name off. All right. But why? I ain't worried about that. Okay. So I'm gonna flip it over, and let me put my shirt on top of it to make sure everything is gonna look good before I do any further cutting. All right. So I got plenty of space. All right. I'm gonna flip this image over and I'm gonna tape it down a little bit better. All right. All right. So even though you see my tape running, I'm not really worried about the edges because a lot of that is gonna be, I'm gonna chop it off. Okay. And I'm gonna get me some painter's tape. And put it on the back. it over here, to be honest. But this just be me like a sense of security, okay? All right, so I got that, so I ain't got to pretty much worry about that being moved. Let me do a pre-press on my shirt, all right? And just this light. All right, so y'all excuse my messy craft room, workspace, not crafty room, but workspace, okay? Let's pull at my iPad, so it's falling to the floor. So give me a moment. Get this camera adjusted. I'm so sorry. Hopefully I'll be able to edit this out. Charging it because it needs to be charged, so forgive me. Hopefully I can edit that out. Let me stop that. Okay, so I'm gonna press this. I'm gonna take the shirt and see what I'll do is, instead of me moving the shirt, I'll spin the paper. All right, so I like to start from here. Now, one thing I do find that works out, and while this is doing a pre-press, you want to have your pressure to like a slight medium pressure, okay? So I'm just pre-pressing to get all the moisture out. And I'm moving the shirt only now because I don't have any sublimation paper on it. But if I had my image on it, I would be moving the paper. One day I long to get a larger heat press. But right now, my space is just so limited what I have to work with. So, you know, you have to work with what you have to work with. So everything is pretty much ironed out, okay? And I'm gonna place it over here and move this back so you guys can see me trim my image out. I do use a spray, an adhesive spray, to keep my shirt from, you know, shifting and moving around. But before I spray it, I just want to kind of check and see where the wording is at and make sure none of the words are going to fall off, okay? So I'm going to get my little adhesive spray. A lot of people prefer, tape, but this has really helped me. And this is a Eco Mist adhesive. I get it from Aviva. You can get it from Amazon and everywhere else, okay? And just a little spritz, not a whole lot. Just a little squirt. Okay? So I put this down. And then I'll spray a little bit up here at the top. All right. If you spray too much, you will notice it on your images. Okay? You will notice it on the you'll notice it on the image, on the shirt when you press it. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna trim around. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna trim around. Hey, Kayla, take them in the back. I'm just recording a video. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna trim the excess that I don't need. All right. And when I be saying, like, when I used to do my t-shirt style images right here at the tip of the shirt, I would have that missing. I'm done. I give me a little extra space because I don't be wanting, I be trying to make sure and don't nothing get cut off. Okay? I'm not going to bother with this at the bottom. It's fine just like it is. Okay? Then I'll take this over and you see, if I lift this up, it's not moving. It's stuck. It's just fine. Now, I do have an extra incentive that I use, but I'm just going to use this craft paper for the sake of this video because we have Teflon sheets. I'll show you the Teflon sheets at the end of the video that I use. They're pre-cut out. They're reusable. But I just did this video because I know there are some people that don't have access to the Teflon sheets. So I'm going to bring you guys over. Again, so you can see, I'm sorry. Again, I'll brush up on my editing skills. And I'm still searching ChatGPT and these other sites. So I'm moving this because I don't want to have to shift this. Making sure everything is good. And what I am going to do is I'm going to add a piece of tape to ensure that when I'm spinning this, I don't move it because like I got some overlapping on this print. I don't want it to end up on the back side of my shirt, okay? So I'm going to just add a piece of tape on the sides to keep it from shifting and moving, baby. One or two, three pieces. Break it down, okay? That don't matter to me. I'm gonna just do it this way, alright? I'm gonna be spinning the paper anyway. And then when I sub this, you'll be able to see where I'm actually pressing it. So I gotta get some butcher paper. To protect my heat press, because if I don't, what will end up happening, it'll touch. The ink will get up under there. And then the next shirt I press, it'll transfer to the next shirt. Okay, so I'm going in with a medium pressure. Another thing I was finding out that I was doing, I was using too much pressure. Okay. In the kitchen, please. Oh, it's hot. And I press my shirts at 385 for 55 seconds. Between 380 and 385, 55 seconds It's good. The paper I use, I get it from LexJet. It's infused paper, and it's a 24-inch roll. They do have some, for those of you that have the 13 by 19 heat presses, printers, 13 by 19, you can get a 13 by 100 feet roll from like Amazon or something like that. Okay, now see right here, when it pressed, I could see that it didn't get the tip of that. So I'm gonna slide this out a little bit and go back in with a second press, just to make sure I get the sleeve of that shirt right here on the end. Again, my heat press is a 16. Now I did that because I want to see and feel where my heat press stopped at. So I need to bring this over because it was going to mess a little bit too. And I'm trying to do as less presses as possible. 10 more minutes. Give me 10 more minutes and then you'll be okay, okay? You want to call her? You got to go in our room and call Dad, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the video. Go there and talk to Dad in the room.
Dad, what's up? You here, Daddy?
All right. Now, I can see here that there's a line here that potentially may give me a problem.
Mommy, Daddy won't respond.
So I'm going to do an extra press for my sanity.
Mom.
What?
Daddy won't respond to me.
Okay. Give me a minute, baby. Armpit. I'm checking the sleeve of this shirt to make sure it pressed, and it pressed that nicely. See, those inks, they popping. But we'll see before thing. That's why I don't lift it, because see, we got that ink right there. And if I move that shirt, that ink can potentially end up on the back of my t-shirt. So that's why I take it down, so that when I'm spinning this shirt doesn't move. And it doesn't cause me any issues and have to redo this shirt all over again. So let me get here. So I took care of that line that was in there. Because it was a line. There was a line going down there. I'm just checking this. And that looks good so far. Girl, short. So I have to get on my tippy toes. Sometimes I have a little stool or step ladder in here. So that's why I cut out the square instead of a t-shirt image. Because the square, you may come up short on the sleeves and stuff like that. The square, I can place it on there and trim the extras off that I don't need. I've messed up so many shirts because of this. I really have. Where am I going with that, please? Thank you. Alright, and when you press, you can see the image coming through. So it'll let you see where you've already pressed that. Okay, see that? So this image, I can tell right here, I haven't done any pressing here. So I'm going to spin it on around. And I'm going to take care of this side. Alright, and I'm going to check this out and make sure I got that at the bottom, which I do. Okay. And keep using the same piece of butcher paper. Just making sure I'm using the side that, the opposite side from that's hitting the shirt, because that will end up on my heat press and cause me some issues in the long run. When I press the next shirt, that ink will show up. Alright, so it looks like, and let me just double check right here that I got that, because I was seeing like a little pocket there. Check this, just checking on my edges, make sure everything on the up and up is covered. Looks like that's covered. Okay. Alright, we're going to do the drum roll. I always have anxiety when I do these shirts, I'm not going to lie. But I'm a person, I just say, let's just do it. Let's just do it. The worst thing can happen is I have to do it again. Okay? So, look. Now this is the only issue I have that I don't care for, but it's on the armpits. See? No ink on the back. Let me turn it around so you can see. So we have no ink on the back because I taped it down. And then this is the results of the shirt. This is why we're talking about where you'll have little issues right up under the armpits. But once they put it on and it's right up under here, it won't be that big of an issue. Sometimes I can get it perfect, but not all the time. So click the button, subscribe, follow me. I will have more videos coming. And just let me know what you think, okay? Again, and if you see, it just, no ink on that. But I could probably reuse it, but I wouldn't reuse it because of this, the ink up there. Because that could potentially go over into the next shirt, okay? So again, those links that I mentioned, if I can find them, if I can figure out how to link it to my YouTube video for Miss Shaquille, because she teaches on how to do sublimation, and she also she got a video on her YouTube page that teaches you how to do the splitting in the Silhouette Studio. You also got Miss Shannon. She has a video where you can do the splitting, the toweling in Innate Academy. But whoever you choose to like, whoever you choose to follow, I don't knock any creators because I've learned from some of them and I supported them. So, but again, thank you for watching my video. Please share, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll have more videos coming in the future. I'm going to be looking at different things that I can start doing and posting because I know there are new creators coming in and trying to learn. So hopefully mine will make it out to the FYP page. Thank you.